First of all, Coach, update us on injuries and who's playing tonight.
I mean, obviously Drew's out. I think JJ's going to go. He's just going to go through his last pregame things and see how he feels. But I think he's going to go. And then obviously the other guys that are normally out are out.
Coach, this is a Clipper team that has been very efficient what they've done, but when you watch them play, it seems to me that transition defense is going to be a big factor in trying to handle this team.
Well, that and then just, the Kawhi factor. I mean, obviously you get 43 points in 29 minutes. You're a pretty good player, but I don't think he needed to do that for anyone to think he's a good player. But yeah, they're great in the open court. They do a great job. They got, with Chalmette back, they got great shooters. That's added another shooter to the mix. They got great inside play. They have two guys really that can do a good job there. So, I mean, they're a really, really great team. And I know Doc, and, he's not trying to win 70 games or anything. He's really preparing these guys for the playoffs. So, you look at their record and everybody might go, but trust me, they'll be ready when the time comes. I've been with Doc and I know Doc, and I know exactly what he's doing with this team.
The last time you played them, there was no Derek Favors on the floor, and of course when you played them here, Fav had 20 and 20 against them, so obviously a big key for your team.
He is, but he's been a key for our team, really since we got him. I mean, if you look at the way we played defensively without him and what we've done when he's been on the floor, it's a drastic difference. And obviously when he had offense to the mix, that's a huge, huge bonus for us. But, he played well and did a great job. And, he'll have to do that again today, especially with, Kawhi out there.
After reviewing the film, is there anything in particular that stood out to you about that beyond performance and what he was able to do in that last game?
I thought he played well. He shot the ball well. I think he really let the game come to him. He really didn't, have very many forced shots or anything. I just thought the way we played and the flow that we had, we were able to free him up and play him into space. And I think when he's playing in space, he does an unbelievable job of being able to score or being able to get to the foul line.
Can you talk about the composure that your team showed in these last two overtimes? Both came in through very difficult situations at the end of the fourth quarter, and then being able to put it together and still pull out those games.
We had a difficult situation the other night.
You're still thinking about it?
No, I'm not thinking about it. Trust me. I moved on from that. But yeah, no, I think it did. I even spoke to them in the locker room and said I think it says a lot about the character of this team, being able to regroup under those circumstances, and especially the other night. That's something that it can affect the last 5 minutes you're going to play, or you can just put it behind you and say, hey, look, we got to win the game, and then we can worry about it later. And that's exactly what these guys did. They said, hey, we're going to win in overtime. It doesn't matter. No one's going to take this game away from us. And they really dug in, and I mean, we got down 5 points in the overtime, and I thought we just did a great job of keeping our composure, finding the right play at the right time, finding the right player at the right time. So I was really proud of him. I really was.
Yeah, 49, 25 shots was a really efficient night, in part because he had 20 free throw attempts. There have been games sometimes when you guys haven't had 20 free throw attempts. What about his aggressiveness?
Well, I think he's going to take the ball to the basket. I mean, he said, hey, either they'll call it or they won't, but part of my game is that I think I can get the ball to the basket, and and I think I get hit a lot, and so fortunately for us, they were able to call most of the fouls that would happen, and he went to the line and 20 free throws. I mean, you're shooting 20 free throws, then you're being very, very aggressive, and I thought he was very aggressive.
Everything
Drew's been close for a while. Is that still the case? Was anything with the stats changed?
No, I mean he's gone out. He's done some things in practice. Really not a lot of the contact stuff, but he's played a little bit of pickup after practice and done some things. But it's one of those situations where it's day to day for him, and it feels good sometimes. There's still some pain there though. But I mean, I think everybody here knows Drew, and the minute he's able to play, he's going to be right back out there. He's not a guy that's going to nurse something that, if he was able to play and help the team, he's going to be out there, so I'm not worried about that.
After everything you guys have been through this season, what was it like to see that scene in the locker room where everybody's throwing the water on BI and going crazy after that game?
It's good for these guys because, it's just been a really kind of an up and down when you think about everything that we've gone through. And I give the players credit because, there's been guys in the rotation, out of the rotation. There's been guys that, have played 25 minutes and then not played. And I think all they've done is just, they've stayed focused, and when the opportunity have presented itself, they've taken advantage of it. So I think that's a good thing. And what it can do is that when we get everybody healthy and playing, it could add additional depth to our team, I think.
I saw Lonzo and a couple others say after the game that Brandon Ingram is an all-star. Just what would it mean for this organization if he does get that honor?
I think he deserves it. I think the way he's played this year, unfortunately for him, our team hadn't played as well as it had, but I think we're playing good basketball right now. But even with that, without the record or whatever, you see what he's done and how he's elevated his game. I don't see why he should not be an all-star, because I think he's deserving of it.
How much have you seen him progress as a leader throughout this season?
Oh, I think he's a quiet leader. He's not a real vocal guy, but I think he leads through example. And our guys know that he comes to work every day and he puts in the work before practice. He does it after practice. He wants to be a great player, and I think there's a lot of guys that say that, but are you willing to do the work that it takes to get there? And I think he's beyond doing the work that it takes to get there to be a great player with his skill level.
And it's only been a few days since Griffin announced it. What have you noticed as far as buzz around the city, excitement that now that we finally have a Zion data and people have an idea when he's coming back?
Oh, I don't think it's just around the city. I think it's around the whole NBA. I think everybody's waiting to see him and watch him play. The only thing I would caution everyone about is that, he hadn't played basketball in a long, long time. He's not going to be a guy that steps right out there and play like he's played 40 games. So it's going to take a little time, but, he'll put in the work. He's putting in the work. And, obviously we're excited to have him out on the floor. And I think everybody around the country and everybody in the league is excited about seeing him and watching him play.
How big do you think this group will look next Wednesday night?
I think it'll be fairly larger. Yeah, I think it'll be. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot larger. But that's who he is, and that's the buzz around the league. But me personally, I don't want to, to say all of this stuff. But the league is in great shape. There's a lot of great young players in this league right now. When you look at Dallas and you look at Atlanta, and you can go all around the league. There's a lot of good young players that's I think that's ready to take the torch and keep the NBA right where it is. And hopefully he's going to be one of those. All right.
They don't even have to go outside of the division. Dallas, Memphis.